O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra. $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX. $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty! Yeah, baby! We are pumped! Loving it. I am loving it. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Isn't it beautiful? 666, the number of the beast. Ow! Yeah. We're over 100,000. We were at 101 just a couple seconds ago. Sorry, folks. I got it. I have another team. It's just not the Dolphins. The Dolphins break my heart every year, every moment. I'm sorry. We're about to go on and we're busting through 100,000. There's It's a little happiness going on here in the morning for some of us. I get it, you know? But see, if you're a Dolphins fan, you need Bitcoin. I mean, if there's anyone in the world that needs Bitcoin, it's a Dolphins fan. Ask Ocala Joe. Ask Ray Martinez. I'm telling you, ask Lisa. These are Dolphin fans that are in misery, but they woke up and go, hey, wait a minute. Not everything's bad. I got Bitcoin on my side. That's the one team that comes through every single time. So I'm just, I'm just saying, you want to offset your Dolphin misery, Bitcoin. That's all. I mean, it really helps the mood, okay? We know our Dolphin Nation is in shambles. We're not confident about what's going on. We don't like what's going on, whether it's, the front office stuff for you guys, the head coach for me, the owner for some, Tua for others, whatever it is. We all have gripes, right? That's kind of the way the Dolphin Nation is right now. We all have gripes at this moment, correct? You need Bitcoin. I'm just saying, you need Bitcoin. Yeah, you need a little Bitcoin in your life. That's all, just a little Bitcoin. Yeah, that way when the Dolphins do something bad, you go look at your wallet and you're like, that's good. That's good. That's good right there. So I'm just saying, those moments when Tyreek acts like an asshole, you go look at your Bitcoin wallet. Jimmy Butler acts like an asshole, you go over to your Bitcoin wallet. Just saying. Offset the bad news with good news. Nothing wrong with that. And, of course, R&M Contractors, proud sponsor of our program. Ray and Mike, they know how to get it done. 305-345-3649. See, Ray is also he's a season ticket holder for the Dolphins. Okay, dude has 4 seats. Lower level. He's hurting. But you see, he's got Bitcoin. So it's like, okay, bad news, good news. You kind of need, if you're only on the Dolphin bandwagon and you're not on Bitcoin, then you're only on a misery bandwagon. I know, because I've been on the misery bandwagon for 40 years. I mean, a lot longer, almost 60, but those were the good years. I mean, the winning years. I'm talking about like the last, real disaster 40 years have been just embarrassing. But Jesus, man, that was good. It's good to be the king. 109.30. I love it. We'll be blasting past 108 soon. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good weekend outside of the shitty Dolphins, but, it was kind of expected. We all can't necessarily a lot of us kind of expected that we weren't going to be in the playoffs or anything good. So, I'm not sitting here surprised. I'm not sitting here surprised that everybody's back, and I'm not surprised that they're not in the playoffs. So, to me, there's a lot of you in shock today and pissed and all that kind of stuff. I expected everything that went on. I didn't expect the Dolphins to make the playoffs. You guys know that I gave up on the season after the Indy loss. And I told you everybody was coming back. I told you that CBS story, if you follow me on Twitter at Big O Show, I told you 2 days ago that story was complete bullshit about, Chris Grier retiring. I even put out an example. The guy has just signed a multi-year deal. Who walks away from how stupid of a report that is? Whatever it is, it's embarrassing to put out the report or the rumor, because all you have to do is use common sense and intelligence. Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, and Chris Grier just signed multi-year deals. They're just going to turn around and say, we've changed our mind. We're going to leave all that money on the table. We're going to retire. We're going to move on. And, the sad part about all of that is that the entire media pretty much didn't deny the story. I was the only guy that came out and said, bro, that's a bullshit story. Okay? I called it what it is, a bullshit story. You know what everybody did? They aggregated it. Well, CBS is reporting, so they cleaned their asses because it's not them. They're attributing it to CBS, and then they aggregated it. Well, if he's on the hot seat, they could go after this, this, and this, so they can fill their little space and add more clickbait to clickbait bullshit. Instead of doing the responsible thing, if you cover the team and you have insight, and the fan base is pissed, at least tell them the truth, dude. And that's what I try to do on the show. So I came out, 2 days ago to tell you the truth. Hey, don't pay attention to that CBS story. There's nobody retiring. And I gave you the simple example. Why? Because the people in the building were laughing at that story. That's why. But this is the bullshit that we have. And this is why you people end up getting pissed off, because a lot of people don't know really what's going on. They really don't have insight on what's going on. And then it's all just conjecture and bullshit and just throwing it all out there. And meanwhile, all they do is mislead you. Oh, they're searching for another quarterback instead of Tua. Was it Josina? No, they weren't. They were never doing that. They were locked in with him, and they did, and they signed them. And I told you that last year. This year, the latest bullshit story, the whole thing with Cook. Oh, they're going to trade for him. They're going to sign him. No, they're not. They're not looking to give up big money or do anything like that. This is all clickbait. We're in a clickbait media world. Okay, that's where we're at. I'm one of the few media members that I'm not tied to a corporation. I am myself. So I'm in the media, but I don't answer to an editor. I don't need to clickbait anything. I don't need to try to bullshit stuff. I don't need to over dramatize stuff. And that's part of the reason that your blood boils, because then you've got all these irresponsible reports that get your hopes up high because you don't like Chris Grier. Oh, he might retire. This, that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why are you working people up, man? There was no truth to it. You didn't get it from a credible source. Why are you throwing something out there that has no basis whatsoever? You don't like Tua. Okay, and there's Josina throwing an irresponsible story about, the Dolphins are looking at another. No, they're not, dude. The people that drafted the guy are not going to dump him. They want him. They stand by him. Now the kid's screwing them over, but whatever. It is what it is. But that's not here or there. That has nothing to do with the story. The story is that it's inaccurate. They weren't looking for another starter. Chris Grier isn't retiring. They're not going after Dalvin Cook. None of these things, it's just bullshit that's thrown out there because they want to just clickbait your ass, because that's what this business is all about. But because I don't play that game on this platform, because I don't need it. I keep telling you that. It's like, it's funny, you know what I'm saying? But I don't do it for views. If I wanted to go complete shock, I could do it and 10x my views if I wanted to, and start doing all the irresponsible things everybody else does. I'm going to stay boring, and I'm going to give you exactly what I know. And if I don't know, I'm going to give you an overview of what I think is going to happen. And there's a good chance that that's pretty accurate too. No agendas. And the problem is that I don't care. I work for you guys. I don't work for a corporation. I don't answer to anybody. I don't need to create any drama. I don't need to create any clickbait material. I don't care. I don't care. I think I prove that like constantly all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't answer to anybody. And that's the beauty of it. And so I could go after people if I feel like it. Nobody else will. Most people had no idea if Jonathan Jones' report from CBS was right or wrong, because they had no insight. But I had insight, and I knew it was wrong, And I stood on my ground 2 days ago and told you, hey, that's a complete bullshit story. And there you go. Game over. Within 2 hours after the game, there's Stephen Ross with a statement. Everybody's coming back. Told you it was a bullshit story. But instead, our media would rather aggregate it and piggyback on it, because since they don't know it's real or not, they have no idea because they don't really have any insight on it. They then go off on building on that story to create more doubt. And then those of you that don't like the front office, it gives you, it lifts you up. And then here comes Stephen Ross after the game shooting you down. Why? Because there was all misinformation and all the bullshit aggregated stories that came off of that. And you got all your little YouTubers that don't know jack shit either. Oh, Chris going to retire, and they all do. And then you guys go to all those fan sites that they have no insight whatsoever on the team. This is the world we live in. The world of just constant misinformation and just let's put out a cycle because it's a 24-hour news cycle. So let's fill it with bullshit. It's not like we didn't tell you for a long time. They're all coming back. And yet people just want to create shit. And, they'll fire McDaniel and they'll go after this guy and they'll go after that guy. Oh, they'll fire Chris Grier and they'll go after that guy and that. No, they're not. They're not doing any of that. They're bringing everybody back. Oh, they got to trade or cut to it. No, they're not, dude. They're not cutting or trading Tua. They just signed him. His contract starts next year. We try to give you the whole thing. And then yet you have people writing about cutting or trading Tua. Now the Tyreek one is the latest one. Bro, they're stuck with Tyreek. That's the latest one now. Now you got people like some guy sent me what is it? Over the draft or over the counter the draft. You know what I'm talking about? That website, OTC or something. Some guy sent me, one of our followers on social media sent me, check this article out. And I'm like, bro, Tyreek just started some bullshit. He's writing an article to fill spot because a Dolphin fan like you is going to read that. The basics are, let me tell you, they're stuck with Tyreek. They can't move him. Okay? And it's like, they might be able to. No, they're not going to be able to get out of it. They're not going to take that huge cap hit. They're stuck with the bum. And his stupid ass, this is the problem with Tyreek also, right? We have media that loves to misinform you by misguiding you with all kinds of bullshit so they can fill space and create, bullshit out there, right? Because they have to do it, bro. They have no choice. You know what I'm saying? The hopium bullshit of the last couple of weeks, it's all bullshit. They have to fill space, but come on, bro. They weren't making shit, whatever. This is all lies. And then Tyreek goes out, and because he's stupid, let's just call it like it is. He's not a smart guy, okay? He's dumb. He's just super talented, and he can play football, but he's dumb. So he says stupid shit all the time, and then he'll backtrack on everything because he's, he has no credibility whatsoever. He has no loyalty whatsoever. He's a guy that is banging every hoe in sight and having all kinds of kids and all kinds of shit. This guy has no scruples at all, dude. So whatever he says has no credibility, no weight. And because he is uneducated and he's stupid, okay, he goes out and says things like, I'm out of here. No, you're not, dumbass. They gave you a bunch of money. They locked it in. They're screwed. They would love to dump your ass. They should have listened to me, because if they listen to me, that would have been your last game yesterday. But, what the fuck do I know? I'm just a shithead that does a show here every day. What the hell do I know? Why would I be right to say don't give Tyreek another penny, let his ass walk after the end of this season? Guess who would have looked really good and really smart? Yours truly. But I don't know shit. Don't listen. Listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a sports advisor. I don't know anything, dude. Okay? I don't know shit about music. I don't know nothing. Okay? Don't listen to me about any of that kind of stuff. Okay? You're better off listening to me when it comes to rocket science. That's the stuff I know about. Okay? We'll talk about that if you want. Solving cancer. Those are the things I know about. But this other stuff, yeah, I don't know anything about this stuff. So this is the problem we have. It's misinformation. Constant misinformation. You know, same thing that I do with Bitcoin that I've been telling you for 5 years. Bro, our dollar is dying. It doesn't matter what side, they are killing our dollar. The red, the blue, the donkey, I mean the elephant or the donkey, it doesn't matter which one. They're all killing it. Right? And the dollar's dying and Bitcoin's going up, right? And meanwhile, as I keep telling you, right, I don't bullshit you guys. You know, the rest of the world is catching on to everything that I've been saying. Because I've been telling you about this for 5 years now. For 5 years. Okay? Why? Because I just call it like I see it, dude. I don't F around. The people that follow me over the years, they know, man, I just don't bullshit. That's all. Beautiful. 101.2. We'll be passing 108 like that. Like that, baby. Misinformation, lies, create diversions. That's all we do. And that's why the public is constantly misled. Constantly misled about everything, dude. So now you have Tyreek, and he just adds to the whole thing. Like, bro, you can't go anywhere. Nobody wants your ass. You got all this baggage. You drop footballs left and right. You're injured. Give me a break, bro. You're not even clutch, dude. You don't even come through on a consistent basis. And especially in big moments, you don't come through. What the hell are we talking about? You know? And 1 week ago, the Dolphins have given me area. I'm really happy, and my family and this, that. And now the next week, yeah, because you're a pea brain. And the Dolphins were stupid for guaranteeing you another penny. And that was dumb on their part. The first contract, fine, you milked it, get out of it. It's the same thing with the whole Jimmy Butler thing. It's completely different scenarios in the two players because Jimmy at least produced. But you got to know when to say when. And Pat Riley did not know, like, no, this was it. You shouldn't have given him this last contract. That's where you screwed up. But you get intoxicated and you think it's going to keep happening. And that's where you got to know when the cutoff is. And it hurts, but you gotta be able to cut that umbilical cord. And sometimes these teams have a problem with that. And the Tyreek situation was the problem. See, again, because I got a little bit of insight. Okay. In the building, they were worried about Tyreek acting up if he didn't get his money because everybody else is getting paid and all that. Okay. All right. I told the people in the building, at least four different people in the building in different levels. I said, you guys are going to make the same mistake that Pat Riley made with Jimmy Butler. The gravy train's going to end. He's getting to his 30s now. He's not going to have 1,700-yard seasons. He's got a crap load of off-season, off-the-field issues. Let it go. Let it play out. They were worried that he would create a mess this year. Well, look what you ended up with. And here's my counter to it. Okay? You don't guarantee the money. He has to be on his P's and Q's because he knows he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And if he wants a new contract from the Dolphins or anybody else, he's going to have to ball and be concentrated. And because he's a pea brain, because he does not have an ounce of professionalism in him, because he cannot really stay concentrated from week to week to day to day and be a professional at its highest level. The stuff that you can see Chop is going to be, the stuff that already Calais Campbell has been, the stuff that Sealer is, okay? All that kind of stuff Tyreek has never been. He's just a supremely gifted athlete. That's what he is. He's a pea brain that is a supremely gifted athlete, and that's what's gotten him by. Not professionalism, not character, none of that stuff. That's not what's helped him get here. It's pure athleticism. That the difference is, this is why you have what you have. And so these kind of people, you got to keep them on a short leash because they're not smart enough to see the big picture. They're not smart enough to grow into the big picture. They don't want to be a Jalen Ramsey. They have no intentions on being Brooks. Tyreek Hill will talk a lot of shit about wanting to be a leader, but he's a phony. He's a fraud because he's a kid. That's what he is. He's a punk still. He hasn't grown up, never will. When you're sticking your pecker and everything out there and getting it pregnant, you have no maturity. You have no responsibility. You have nothing. You have no credibility, nothing. Let's call it like we see it. The Dolphins were flat out stupid for guaranteeing him the money. You had to keep him on a leash and say, no, dude, you're constantly fucking up. You're breaking IG's legs. Your house is on fire. You're putting in divorces. You're having babies left and right. All that. Nah, we're not. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the year. And then if he goes off and he plays well, good for you, good for him, good for the team, good for the fans. If he acts like an asshole and he screws up like he did all year, you get rid of him and he's off to free agency where he's not going to get what he wants. You win, but you lost because you guaranteed, just like Pat Riley, because most of you were intoxicated with back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons. You overlooked all the off-the-field issues, every problem he ever has. You guys just brush it aside. Same thing with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's got an attitude, as always. It's all about him, right? So you kept thinking it was going to go, and now you wanted to extend it. And you didn't look at the run for what it was. A great run, but very flukish. So most of you wanted Tyreek. Most of you wanted Jimmy Butler back. Now you can't complain about what you wanted back. And now this is the problem that you've inherited. So, and now you got Tyreek, again, just going off yesterday. Sean Stanley. I know you have Tyreek Hill's comments in the post game, in the locker rooms. Let's hear from the moron wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins.
You injured, or what was the deal with that?
Yeah, man. So all season I've been dealing with, a little issue, and so.
Was it the left wrist that?
Right. So coach kind of pulled me out.
How would you describe this season for you now that it is over?
Oh, season was great, man. I had my daughter, so that's a plus for me. I'm happy, I'm blessed, man.
And when you say coach pulled you out, Mike McDaniel pulled you out because your wrist was injured?
Just one of those issues, man, that when you look up at the scoreboard, Chiefs are, down, and it's like, okay, so.
How do you feel about not getting to 1,000 yards this season?
I mean, it is what it is, man. It's life, man. I feel like at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that, I need to reassess, about, my career and, just see what I need to do, to continue to get better, as a player. So I can continue to reach that 1,000-yard mark. So it is what it is.
What do you think is the biggest reason the team finished 8 and 9?
I would say for me, man, as a captain, it was a tough season, man. It sucks, man, missing QB1, man. It really hurts a lot, man. Not having him, but Snoop did a great job of filling in whenever he learned the offense, getting us going. But whenever you're missing your franchise player, man, it kind of sucks. So.
As a captain, what is the message you have to these guys in the offseason, and you won't feel this at the end of the season next week?
I don't even know, bro.
Well, so that was this fool yesterday. So just want to bring something up in the interview. That's all. Just a small nugget that I want to bring up in the interview here. Okay, just one little note, just one small note. Sean Stanley, Tyreek Hill said he had a great year, right? Correct. He said he had a great year, right? His daughter was born. Why did he leave out all the other kids that were born? I'm just saying. Are you a father or are you a father? You only count the one kid that was born? So it was only a good year for Tyreek because his daughter was born. But the other bastard kids, yeah, I'm not going to mention those. Like drop passes. Dude had like 5 kids born in the last year. He mentions one. Example, boom, over. Mic drop. Okay. You want to know about Tyreek? There you go about Tyreek. By the way, you can make a donation to the show Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which you know we love our Bitcoin or Ethereum. Bitcoin right now, 101,661. We are so freaking back. And by the way, you can also make a donation through PayPal. You can send it in. Sean will show you those QR codes there that you can use. As always, we appreciate it. Visit our amazing sponsors like Welt and Rayom, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, absolute ass kickers. Jeff Welt, by the way, huge Dolphins fan, huge Canes fan. Heartbreak for the man, but he's also in a Bitcoin. It helps. It helps. Daniel Rayom, he's kind of like a casual sports. He's more of a stunt pilot. So he's like another different type of. That's why when he walks into a courtroom, like it's nothing, dude. Like this guy's got ice in his veins. In fact, when Daniel Rayom walks into a courtroom, he looks at the judge and he says, "Judge, good morning." Okay, that's what he does. That's Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom there. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense. That's right. Even P. Diddy can call. Business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. All righty. Man. Telling you. What do we have here? True Fin fan. Should I say it? Same old Dolphins. LOL. Amen. I see Steve Chapman, I think, is number 1. I don't know if that's is that the case? I think. Yes, Steve Chapman, number 1. So I still have it on my board here. Thank you. I didn't reset, so I still have it. I see Rojas. I see Jeff from Long Island. One-Eyed Jack. Captain Saki. Tyreek wants to do what's right for his career. He should make a highlight film of all his key drops and send it to the league. Yeah, that would be. I like that one. NorCal, Omar Geiner, Mark Gallagher, 40-year diehard here. Made my first bet ever against the Dolphins yesterday. Wow, you made some money. Buy Bitcoin. That's a better, but with the winnings, get a little Bitcoin. Let's see who else. Josh, Gus, BX is in. Sneak Attack. He says, I think what makes it worse for us Fins fans is that this season was horrible and that there isn't much hope for things to get better for next year. And that's the worst part, that it's really hard to feel hopeful for next year. For me personally, I know we all have our own gripes, but for me, I don't know how with Mike McDaniel. I'm sorry. I've just watched the man completely underachieve 3 straight years, and he's just not a good coach. So it doesn't matter. You could put the 72 Dolphins there, and they will go mostly defeated under that guy. So it's hard. It's hard for any of us to feel hopeful. That's I talked about that yesterday on the post-game show, that the hopeful part is really hard as a Dolphins fan. Alex, you say you have juicy information about Tyreek that you can't say. How is that not clickbait? Alex, do you listen to the show? Do you listen to the show? You think this is the first time I've done this or something? I've done this for many years where there's things that I can't say. So that's all. You know what I'm saying? Alex, if you don't like the way I do things, bro, you can get the fuck out of here. You can unsubscribe and get the fuck out of here, dude. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like the way I do things, you can get the fuck out, dude. I think some of you still don't understand what I do here. I'm not regular media. I don't answer to anybody. So you can't go complain to an editor or a boss or anything. I am the boss, and I do whatever I want, and I run it however I want. And if you don't like it, Alex, in New York, you can get the fuck out, dude. Are we clear on that? Okay? I run the show. I do what I want. I say what I want. I say when I want to say it. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. I'm not putting a gun to your head to be here, dude. That's the beauty of it. So if we're clear, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some of you out there, you just tune in, or you've only been on for a week or a month or a year. Maybe you haven't run into the point of the show that it's called the Big O Radio Show. Orlando Alzigari runs the bitch. And whatever I say goes. End of story. So you could come along with the ride, and you could be in the know a lot of times if you want, but you're not going to dictate anything here. Okay? I dictate everything. And if you don't like it, you can leave, or we can boot your ass out. Either way. I don't give a shit, dude. Either way, I laugh, I smile, and I continue to do this, and I'm 5 years in. So my freedom is something that is priceless, something that no other media member has in South Florida. I have it. So I say what I want, whenever I want, however I want. It's up to you. You want to come along for the ride? You can do it. You want to try to fight? Bro, you're going to lose that battle every single time. Anyway. Kyle Cockrell. We're back above 100K. Kyle, I want you to know, buddy. I want you to know, buddy. I took the dive. I bought Casper yesterday. Okay? I bought Casper yesterday. So, took the dive. Got a little Casper yesterday. So, it's more of a long play. That's the way I'm looking at it. After doing my homework for a while now, because I've been doing my homework for a while and reading up on it. But Kyle, I'm on with you. I'm just, small play, but I am gonna. It'll be a long play that I'm just gonna start adding to it, because I don't think it's really going to pump big yet, actually, because, as I've explained, I think Caspa is the Cardano of this cycle. That I think it'll have a little bit of a pump, but I think it's the next cycle where it becomes an absolute monster. So it's more of a long play for me, the way I look at it. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it. It doesn't have enough business right now for it to take off. It just doesn't, So it needs to build the DeFi and everything else. Once it does, the tokenomics are all there. And because it's the only other proof of work, I think everybody's gone the other way with proof of stake. I think there's going to end up coming back to a proof of work, especially because they have figured out how to scale it up. So after doing a lot of my homework on it, dove in, baby. I'm with you now, Kyle. I'm with you on the Caspa run. Not a financial advisor, by the way. Kyle Cockrell, myself, we are not financial advisors. We know nothing. We're just two dudes that suffer with the fucking Dolphins, and we love our Bitcoin, and we're in the Caspa now. That's it. So, Kyle, Caspa Kyle. Let's see. Greg Chafin says, Big O, one thing I learned from yesterday's game is we are going 8-8 or 9-8 with McDaniel's and Grier era. Nothing is going to change. We will continue to be soft team for the next few years. Greg, I'd love to tell you, but yeah, you have every right to feel that way, and soft for sure with McDaniel. Oh my God. James Tallman, I'm tired of this crap every year. I've seen this movie for over 40 years. Soft teams, bad coaches, bad management decisions every year, and players with issues on and off the field. James, hang in there, my brother. Get some Bitcoin. Not that I'm a financial advisor, of course. Michael Lombardo. Thank you, Michael, for supporting us. That's why it's a great year, because you support us. Mike Monahan. So anyone glad we didn't insist on a 5th-year option before a new contract for Tua? Hey, listen, all of you that didn't want him signed, you were right. You were right. And they could have held. I understood why they signed him. I get it. But holding him out, holding off for one more year would have made sense. The one that really made you can make an argument with the 201. Okay, because, he was coming off a year where he figured it out. You thought, okay. I thought, okay, he figured it out. The kid figured out. Get rid of the ball and you'll be fine. Give him the money. Let's go. Let's rock. But the McDaniel one, that's the one I didn't get. That's the one that there was there's nothing there on the resume that says you have to re-sign him. And that's the one I didn't understand. It reminded me so much of Philbin. It's like, wow, I didn't understand that one. So we'll see. Big O show keeping 305, not for the faint of heart. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. XRP to the moon. Jonathan, XRP, Hedera. These are things that are going to be involved with the government in many ways. And so that is going to be enormous. So yes, I agree with you. Now XRP is at a really high market cap, but there's no doubt that it should run. And Hedera is another one that I'm big on, and it definitely should run also. Kyle says, you got some Caspa. That's awesome, Big O. Very happy to hear that. Juan Mendoza says, good morning. Tough season. Hopefully the Panthers can give us another awesome run. Well, they've been fantastic so far. They're right up there, bro. They've given us a fantastic runs already, bro. They've been on a roll for, now they've gone to the playoffs. I think it's 5 or 6 straight years. So this is a team that is a perennial winner. And now has gone multiple times deep as you could possibly go, and now won the Stanley Cup. The Panthers are the real deal. They've got real stars, a real team, top to bottom. They are built the right way. There's no doubt about that. King says it's all a long play for me, oh. You're a smart man. So, Jets fire Peterson. Yes, sir. Do they go after Weaver? We'll see. We'll see if they go after Weaver. There's a report out there about Weaver interviewing with the Bears, or people putting it out there, but I haven't seen it tied specifically to one of the insiders. So that's the only thing. I haven't seen it like literally off of one of the insiders. So I don't know if it's real or not. The stuff that people are throwing around on social media, but I would imagine Weaver is going to get interviews. I would rather have Weaver than Mike McDaniel as my head coach, to be quite honest. Let's see what else. Kyle says, I knew that you would eventually get yourself some Caspa. You're too smart and hip to the crypto game not to see a great project with so much more catalyst coming in the pipeline. Yeah, it has. I'm willing to and I'm already committed to my bags from years already. So for this bull run, I'm already prepared for this bull run, whatever I can, of course. I'm not rich, but for the next bull run, that's kind of what I'm preparing for, because I don't expect Caspa to be the monster right now. I expect it to be more down the line. I think Caspa grows as people figure out crypto and they figure out how the entire financial world and everything is going to be on the blockchain. And then I think people there's going to be a reversal of back to proof to work. And then that's where Caspa people are going to go, because it's too late for Bitcoin. So because it's too late for Bitcoin, and I believe the Caspa number is 50 billion, I believe, but it has a halving also, in the process. So all of that, I just think it has a lot of potential. So I'm gonna ride the Caspa wave. Gonna ride the Caspa wave for down the line. Karoon says, so glad I didn't get the NFL ticket this season. The Finns are all I watch, and I don't have live TV. Saved hundreds because I don't think the Finns would be good this season. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that next season we're going to be anything special with that head coach, and that's my problem. So, Big O, I've been watching the Dolphins since Bob Greasy wore glasses under his helmet. The Peabody. I called him Mr. Peabody then when I was a kid. I'm a fan no matter what, but to be honest, my interest and passion for this team is waning each year. Yeah, it's called apathy. Because when we were young, you were constantly engaged because they were great. They were always good. They were respectable. The last 40 years, they become more and more disrespected. They become less and less credible. They have no credibility because they can't win anything. They can't do anything. And so because you constantly fail and you constantly never achieve anything, it creates that negativity for so long. You know what I'm saying? It's human nature. It's not your fault. We were engaged all the time because Shula was great back in those days. He had it going. He had the personnel department. He had everything. As he lost that, he lost his mojo. And then after he left, it just got worse. That's all. That's what we've lived, unfortunately. Jamie Zoria. Tyreek got his money and then ended up screwing up and being a distraction the whole season. So the front office only dug themselves a bigger hole. Nothing but misery for the fans in the forecast. I'd love to argue and tell you you're wrong, but Jamie, that's exactly how you should feel. So today's a great day to wear my blind ass fan t-shirt. I'll be sporting it proudly, listening and reading on Twitter. Thank you, Jaffard. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for supporting the platform. Dolphins are therapeutic disappointment of the last 40 years, says George. I still remember when Big O used to say the grief was amazing and found a headache and a coach in the same draft. Yep. That was the Flo thing. I thought Flo was like, okay, tough guy, all that, and that fizzled out. Got so screwed. We get dejected. And I still love the quarterback as a passer, but I have completely lost faith. And, that's the Tua thing is the one that us Tua people, right? We could hang on the actual game, the playing, throwing the ball. You're in the MVP race. You lead the league in completion percentage. It's not like the ability is not there, right? But now we have to join the anti-Tua people. I got to join. I got to join the anti-Tua people because now I have to be anti-Tua because it's not because I don't believe he can play. No, I know he can play. But I also know he's an idiot. He refuses to take care of his body. So there's no future because he can't take any punishment whatsoever. The idiot will never learn. And the press conference last week was all the proof you needed to know. He's so injured, there was no shot he should have even played, even if they, by some miracle, made the playoffs. And yet, the moron wanted to play. So that's the worst part. I've gotten to a point now where I literally cannot trust Tua. So I don't like Mike McDaniel, and I don't trust Tua anymore because he will not take care of himself. So how am I supposed to feel about the future of the Dolphins? How am I supposed to feel like? And I told you guys in the post-game show, I'm not the guy that lies to myself. I'm just not that guy. I've seen those fans. Well, anything can happen on any given Sunday. Bro, have you been watching the 40 years? There's no given for us, you asshole. We're not going to the Super Bowl. We're not winning anything significant. Have you watched the last 40 years? You want to keep lying to yourselves? It's like a Lions fan. You just want to lie to yourself until you actually see it, which now they actually have it. Now you can believe it. Now they're going deep into the playoffs. Now they're playing tough man football, which is what you need. Yesterday, 14-2 teams going at it, dude. How freaking cool was that? 14-2 teams fighting for the number one spot at the end of the year. That was beautiful, man. That's when you can believe. But outside of that, you lie to yourself every year as a Dolphins fan. We lie to ourselves. We, like this gentleman pointed out, you nailed the coach you nailed the coach and the quarterback. Well, no, you didn't. And that's where only a blind ass fan creates any kind of positivity for next year. Because there is nothing of substance to say you're going to accomplish anything next year. Because Tua refuses to take care of himself. That means your season's over already. The 2025 season is over, and it hasn't even started. Think about that statement. The 2025 season is over, and it hasn't even started. Tua refuses to take care of himself. So you know what happens when he goes down. Plus, you have a coach that is weak. His teams are soft. He's soft. And in the end, he can't overcome adversity. He's not winning with backups or anything like that. He can't do the shit that Spo does. He can't do the shit that Shula used to do. All that kind of stuff. That's not who he is. He's not like a great X's and O's coach that can overcome adversity. So how am I supposed to feel? I have no way I can feel positive about 2025. It's impossible. I have a quarterback that guaranteed will miss a bunch of games. He went 6 this year, just for fun. Next year, maybe he'll go for 8. You know, this offseason, he's going to, work with his trainer, and maybe what they'll do is they'll surgically input Mexican jumping beans into the bottom of his feet. And then he's all of a sudden going to think that he's Speedy Gonzalez, right? And that he can dodge everybody and avoid everybody. And he's going to say that he's going to come back better and bigger and stronger than ever so he can outrun everybody. And then for sure, and you're going to see him, he's going to come back with these big shoulders and he's going to take people on and all that kind of stuff and survive. Yeah, that's how Tua's going to counter it. He's going to say, I'm going to show you guys. You think I'm not durable? I'm going to prove to you that I'm durable. And then I got a coach that can't win a challenge. I mean, seriously, dude. I got a fucking coach that can't win a challenge. You tell me how I'm supposed to feel good about it. You know what I feel good about next season or this year now that we're here? I feel good that I think Bitcoin is going to be at $250,000 on June 30th. That's what I feel. Okay? That's the team that's going to make me feel good. Okay? That maybe if I'm sitting somewhere on a tropical island, okay, watching next season and next season, maybe I'll do the pre and post game show from the coast of Costa Rica or Panama or somewhere. Maybe I'll be in Medellin. Who knows? I could be in Mauritius on the coast of South Africa. You just never know where I'm going to be next year. Okay? And maybe that's where I'll be doing it because, I'd rather go party somewhere and watch the game from afar and just enjoy life and say, well, we didn't win again. But hey, we're here. We're in Malta having some fun. 102-340. Winner, chicken dinner. Call Van Dam. Shelby Jordan, come on, Big O. He will learn, and next year he will be different. True Fin fan, he requests, he will get. Sean Stanley, for those who want to create all kinds of fun in their mind about next year in a Super Bowl and playoffs, give them a blind ass fan alert.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Chris Duquette says Samoan jumping beans. Actually, Samoans are not known for jumping beans. We can. He's got to borrow it from Mexico. Can't. Samoans are, they're kind of bigger and, they're kind of slower. You can't do that. They need to speed up the Samoan. So that's what it is. It's about speeding up the Samoan with Speedy Gonzalez Mexican jumping beans. There you go. Jermaine says, oh, please, Tua isn't the biggest problem. This team couldn't even win. Jermaine, you're not understanding the problem with Tua. It's, again, listen, English. Okay? No español. All right? I'm not speaking Creole here. You got that? Okay? If Tua refuses to take care of his body, Doesn't matter, bro. You get it? It has nothing to do with playing. XRP train, says Chimp Shock. Fin rule, Tua in the NFL. Tua has missed 14 regular season games across his first 5 NFL seasons, plus 1 playoff game. And let me tell you something, Fin's rule, you are absolutely awesome in math. Do me a favor, email me your phone number. I'm going to use you as my accountant this year. With that kind of math, I mean, let's go, dude. Let's see what else. Brandon Ortega says Grier was still safe for his job. That's why he never made moves like his job was on the line. No doubt about that. Big O, do you think the fans will boycott more than ever this year with buying tickets, buying merch? No, they never do that. Bro, they don't do it for the Marlins. We still have people that go to Marlins games. And the Dolphins try. They're trying to win. You may disagree with them, how they do, but they spend a shit ton of money and they try. So the difference, the incompetence, if that's what you want to call it, you can disagree with it, but it isn't from a lack of trying. Whereas the Marlins don't even try to win. Okay? They have zero intentions on winning, and people still go to those games. And think about how bad the Marlins are. So, of course not. That's silly. They're not going to boycott. I'm not going to tell you to boycott them. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Now, can I see apathy set in for some people and less people watch? And yeah, I can see that, especially if things don't go well. But if they win a few games, the bandwagon will be loaded. We love the team so much that we're dying for them to win. And any signs of them showing us that they'll win, we're back on like kids. Who are we kidding? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're pissed now, and I can see people being a little frustrated and not watching or not caring as much. But is there going to be any like major drop off? Nah. Because they'll continue to try, they'll create buzz, they'll have their draft picks, they'll make a trade or two or whatever, they'll sign a big free agent, they'll get you going again. They'll try. That's the thing. They'll spend money. So it's not from a lack of trying, it's a lack of you disagree the direction that they're going in. So it's a little different. You can't say they're not spending. You can disagree with the moves, okay? But you can't disagree that they're not trying the way they think they're trying. You know what I'm saying? The Marlins, they're not even trying. And they're not even hiding it. And yet people still go to that shit. It's crazy. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always love that. I'm Hans, and I'm Brett Franz, and we're here to pump you up. Brett, thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, fixing this team is easy. Smarter play calling, since we are stuck with Mike McDum. Tua using common sense. Getting a receiver besides Jonnu that's taller than 5'10" that can get open with running routes, beef up the interior O and D line, and backup QB. Simple. He's right. I said that yesterday in the postgame show, and I talked about it on Friday, I believe, or Thursday. If you look at the breakdown of the team, they're not that far off. It's just if you don't have the right coaches, and if you don't get the interiors of the D and O line fixed, and maybe an interior and one more linebacker, although they did add a linebacker in the middle of the season that might end up helping. Yeah, I'm with Brett, but the problem is McDaniel's got to be a much better coach. And I that's the part I don't see, Brett. That's the part that I have a hard time comprehending that they're going to get over the top with that because of McDaniel. Tua, could he make better decisions? Hell yeah, he can make better decisions, and then all of a sudden he'll stay on the field. That would be fantastic. That's easy, but he's got to go out and do it, and that's the part that drives you crazy because he continually does some stupid shit, and it frustrates all of us. Absolutely frustrating. Where are we at here? Still over 102,000. I like it. Let's see. Ospina says, I'm still pissed we didn't draft Lamar Jackson in 18. We didn't take Minkah Fitzpatrick with the 11th pick. We take Minkah Fitzpatrick with the 11th pick, and Lamar goes to Baltimore with the 32nd pick. Ospina, I got to tell you something. First of all, he still hasn't won anything with a hell of a team around him constantly. Great running game, line, all that kind of stuff, defense. Still hasn't won shit. But no one would have ever had the success with Lamar Jackson than John Harbaugh has had. Why do I say that, Ospina? Because you must be dedicated to that style of game. No one in the league is dedicated to a run-oriented offense with that gimmicky style passing game. But it's kind of like a fast break passing game or something. He moves right or left, and he's trying to choose high or low. He's trying to bait linebackers in or out to get them over him. I mean, it's just kind of like this two-man game that he's constantly playing. You know what I mean? There's no real rhythm passing where he's dropping 3, 5, 7 steps, and delivering right on a spot or something. There's none of that organized type of stuff. It's kind of all ad-libbing. Very few coaches in the history of the game are going to commit to this kind of an offense. And to John Harbaugh's credit, God bless him. I hope they win the championship one day, to be quite honest, because he has given Lamar every opportunity to be there. And Lamar, obviously, he's a freak, dude. So it's hard to prepare for this in the regular season. But in the playoffs, the better defenses are out there. And they somehow figure out, all right, we're going to shut the run down, and we're going to make sure that he beats us with his arm. And then that's where he ends up screwing up. So, Ospina, until I actually see him win big, then I'll tell you were right. Yeah, they should have drafted him and all that. But, yeah, it's beautiful. There's a lot of yards, a lot of stats, a lot of trips to the playoffs, but a lot of failures in the first round. A lot. And it's just, he doesn't have a winning record in the playoffs. I'm just saying it. I disagree with you on that still to this day. And the only person that should have drafted Lamar is the guy that drafted him, because he is truly dedicated to that kind of an offense. No other offense is like that in the NFL. None, because nobody has Lamar. Because only Lamar can do that funky shit. But that only has so much shelf life, and it doesn't fly in the playoffs because you've got to run that fast break, freestyle type of offense, in the playoffs. And there's those defenses and those coordinators are too smart. You need to have, it needs to be like the Dolphins and the Patriots of 85. That's kind of what the Ravens need, a break where they have easy teams in the AFC to go through to get to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? At least, but they don't. And that's what's going to create problems for them, because they're facing teams that have defenses, running games, and quarterbacks that are better passers than him. So that becomes a problem for him. So I get the optics of it and all the stats and and he should probably win another MVP trophy, or if he doesn't, somebody else, whatever. He's got 2 or 3, whatever. But in the end, none of that means shit, because in the playoffs, he shits the bed every single time, because that offense dies in the playoffs. So when that offense and that quarterback succeed in the playoffs, talk to me and then tell me, okay, and I'll tell you, bro, I was wrong. He figured it out. He got it done, because he's such a phenomenal kid. You hope he wins it. Do I think he ever will? No. I don't think that gimmick bullshit offense will ever win. You're going to need every break in the book. You're going to need some serious injuries. You're going to need Derrick Henry to absolutely dominate in the playoffs. And then you can get there and win it. But if you're not dominating on the ground, I don't know how Baltimore wins a Super Bowl. They're not going to win it because he's going to win it but from the pocket. He doesn't really even play from the pocket. So, we'll agree to disagree on that one, Ospina. Okay? Let's see. Big O, Tua cannot take care of himself. He is a soft football player and will get injured regardless of what he does. Tua will suffer another concussion next season and or injuries. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Appreciate you. Let's see. Montego. McGenius is becoming Adam Gase 2 with his lame-ass running plays that lose 5-10 yards and wide receiver screens. Yes, sir. Yep. So, Big O criticizing Lamar Jackson for not winning, but defending Tua when he doesn't even show up. Where am I defending Tua? I just say Tua can definitely win for passing, but he's stupid with his body. I just said that there's no hope for the Dolphins because he refuses to take care of himself. Not sure how. I think I just said us Tua people, we now have to go with the negative Tua people because he refuses to take care of himself, so he's going to get injured. I'm not sure how that's not negativity, but, that's what I love about, all this kind of stuff. People like Gerardo Fernandez, they hear whatever they want. They actually don't listen to the person talking. That I'm actually extremely critical of Tua because he's a dumbass. I think I've called him a dumbass, an idiot, a moron several times now the last couple of weeks. But again, Gerardo Fernandez hears what he wants to hear, and that's our society when it comes to anything. Entertainment, politics, music, sports. Gerardo only wants to hear what he wants to fucking hear. So then he shapes it that way, and then he goes into, Big O's just defending Tua. Nah, actually, he's not. But, that's all right. You hear whatever you want to hear, Mr. Fernandez. Not exactly sure, but you go ahead and run with it, bro. Run with it. One-Eyed Jack says, I have no confidence that Grier and company can fix any of the problems. We'll be at the same place week 18 next year. Yesterday was the first game I turned off in 35 plus years. And One-Eyed Jack, you have every reason to feel that way because of what's happened. So, Finn's rule, Grier built a team based on speed while the league had pivoted to power. Power and toughness is what we lack. Speed, not cutting it. What happens to a Lambo? Yeah, exactly. But that's a mistake by Grier in listening to McDaniel. McDaniel's the one that wants this soft ass team, and Grier allowed him to get it. And now Grier has to, in order to save his job and Marvin Allen's job and Reggie McKenzie's job, those three guys need to tell McDaniel, listen, buddy, you need to take a step back. We need to start doing this. Or if not, everybody's getting fired next year. That's it. That's pretty simple. This is why they're all coming back. And this is why I kept telling you guys, they're all coming back. Everybody's been committed to. They're going to give them one more shot to save this. And if it doesn't, then next year, they're going to start making changes. That's it. We warned you about this from the get-go. But listen, none of you should feel confident about anything, about Stephen Ross, about the front office, about the coaches, about Tua. There's not one thing. No argument here. Okay? None. I get it. But what are we going to do? They're not making any changes. It's already been said. The Dolphins should have never paid Tyreek. Yeah, well, I didn't hear enough of that last year, Joel. All I heard, Joel, is that I'm a dick. Okay? That's all I heard last year. Oh, you're a jerk. You don't want to pay Tyreek. Tyreek's awesome. He's everything. He's the whole offense. He makes Tua go around. He does all this. That's all I heard last year. Oh, you got to pay him. You got to pay him. You got to pay him. Very few people, Joel. Very few. And I can't say, Joel, I remember you saying and agreeing with me at that moment. So, unless you can find some kind of tweet of yours that says don't pay Tyreek before last year, go ahead. But I got to tell you, I don't remember a lot of people agreeing with me on the Tyreek thing. I remember being all out on an island all by my lonesome. So that's what I remember, just like the whole Jimmy Butler thing. Don't give him the extension. Boy, was I on an island all by myself out there. Hanging out in the – oh, come on, oh, we just came off finals. Yes, I know. That's it. The run's over. It's been a great run. Don't get too high on it. Well, there was Pat Riley at the Carter getting high at the Enterprise. Nino Brown taking care of him. And he goes and he gives Butler the extension, and here we are. And the Dolphins last year were at the Cotta also. And they gave Tyreek that money. So I don't remember a lot of people. So I'm sorry. Let's see. What else do we have? I was so hyped about yesterday's game that I went out with my friend's boat on my friend's boat and didn't even check the score. The season ended in DeMar Hamlin's bicep. It's a good one, True Fan. Hunter Butler, the fact that we always end up in these situations at the end of the year feeling all defeated, it's not even just disgraceful. I can't even find a word for it. Yeah. Big O, we should have you in the front office. Maybe Dolphins would be much better than our current front office. I could help out the Dolphins, and I could help out the Heat. The Panthers listened to me. When I said, hey, Dale Talon's got to go, I was the first one to say that. But about a year later, they fired Dale Talon. Nobody was willing to say that. And then when I said, you must trade Huberdeau. You cannot be led by Barkov and Huberdeau. They're too nice. You got to keep Barkov, but you got to trade Huberdeau and get a star. They went and got Kachuk. One franchise seems to listen to this show. Because again, not the whole I told you so bullshit, but I was the only guy that said, fire Dale Talon. At that time on our platform, I would bring on the hockey writers because we had hockey segments. And I would bring on George and Dwork, and they wouldn't even touch that subject. They wouldn't even touch that subject. I said, no, bro, he's got to go. And then the other subject that I said, bro, you cannot be led by those two guys. They're both goobers. And look at Barkov. He's no longer a goober, right? Since Kachuk, he's gotten some dog out of Barkov now, right? Because you needed a son of a bitch in the locker room. But remember, I'm the football guy. So the Heat and the Dolphins don't listen to this show. The Panthers listen to this show. But the Heat and the Dolphins, they don't listen to this show. because we give them the right advice, but, they don't follow our advice. The Panthers, we give them advice, and they follow it to a T. It's amazing, right? I got to tell you. So, what can I say? It is what it is. Let's see. Better start churning up those lake streamers for the game. I don't know what that means. He's talking to Sal. Big O, what would be the first 5 things in order you would do if you become GM for the Dolphins? Joe, I'm not. I don't do the hypothetical stuff. I'm not the GM. I'll tell you what I do when things happen at the moment. You know what I mean? Like the latest one is the Tyler Hero thing. Okay, that's the latest one that I'm on now. Okay, the latest one is if Tyler continues to play this way for one more month and you get to the trading deadline and somebody's willing to give you a nice package for Tyler, please trade him. Please trade him. So we'll mark this one down now. We'll see if the Heat, because when I told them not to pay Whiteside, they paid Whiteside. They don't listen to this show. The Heat, they haven't been listening to the show lately. So what can I tell you? That's another one, by the way, the Whiteside one. Oh, Kyle Lowry, another one. I said, do not trade for Kyle Lowry. The Heat don't listen to this show. So not only the Dolphins, okay, but the Heat and the Dolphins need me in the front office. They need me, not because I know more than them. They know more than me. But I can detach them from their emotions every once in a while. I can step in and be the mediary, right? Or what is it? The mediator of their feelings and say, no. It's been a great run with Jimmy. You got to part ways right now. So they can call me for that kind of stuff. The Panthers, they don't need to call me because they just listen to the show. And they listen and they say, says we got to trade Huberdeau. We need to trade Huberdeau. We need to go find another star. And they went and got Kachuk. Says you've got to fire Dale Talon. They fired Dale Talon. So I'm just saying, Sean, when someone speaks, what happens, right? It is what it is. The Sportstradamus lays the law down here on the show.
The Sportstradamus has spoken.
Told you guys about Chubb, right? Hey, look out for Wednesday. What happened? What happened? Fire away again, Sean.
The Sportstradamus has spoken.
We told you, Grier, McKenzie, Allen, McDaniel, no matter what would be back. There'd be no retirement from Chris Grier. Spoken. Come on, man. Let's go.
The Sportstradamus has spoken.
It's a little delayed. Taco says, you said something yesterday and I almost cried. I'm 33 years old and all I know is misery with the Dolphins. Yeah. Young people, unfortunately. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yes. Derek says, I turned it off after the Achane run and the Dolphins had 2 red zone opportunities and settled for field goals only to watch the Jets go up 7-6. I know. And it was so Dolphins that they would get there and not be – they lost yardage. That was the best part. They were farther away from the end zone by the end of that drive, and it was like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's just – it's embarrassing. He's a terrible coach. What else? Crypto Dolphin says it's nice that January 6th is peaceful and nobody's trying to break into the Capitol. Yeah. Dolphin fans should get used to the 2025 season being a repeat of 2024 or worse. Yeah, there's nothing to look forward to. Unfortunately, James, that's where we're at right now. Lenny says, I admit, Big O, I was one of the many that wanted Tyreek extended, but I was wrong. The guy is a complete goofball and is a cancer to our team. Now we're stuck with him for the foreseeable future. Yeah, one more year. One more year with that bum. Hey, Dude 67, it's NFL and NBA consulting. Get that shit straight, okay? The Heat need me badly. Like, badly, bro. Like, badly. They desperately need my objectivity in that building. Even more than the Dolphins. That's how scary it is with the Heat. Seriously, they need that place needs an intervention. A big O intervention is what they need, because they have lost their way, and they are ruining the run for the best coach in the business. You know, Eric Spoelstra is so freaking good, and Mike McDaniel sucks. So it really doesn't matter what you give him; he's going to ruin it. Eric Spoelstra is God, bro. He is a monster. Take care of the guy, bro. Do a better job. You people suck in the front office right now. Seriously. Your drafting's better, but the free agency, the trades, oh my God, you suck at that lately. So get that shit straight. NFL and NBA and NHL consulting. But again, the Panthers are smart. They don't even have to pay me. They just listen to the show and do what I say. See, the Dolphins and the Heat are going to have to pay me because they got to bring me into the building. By the way, Dolphins and Heat, I take my payment in Bitcoin. Okay? Which, by the way, you can make a Bitcoin donation on the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum donation. And remember, you can make a donation also on PayPal too. PayPal is another place where you can make a donation. No Bitcoin or Ethereum there, but you can make a donation. And we encourage you because we get 100% there. That's why. Okay. That's why we tell you. By the way, Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, the finest Acura dealership in the business. Proud sponsors of our show, will be there on Friday, rocking and rolling on Friday, having some fun. And you can get electrified. The ZDX is in the 2024 model. You can get it for $449 a month, folks. 0.9% financing for 72 months. That is out of control. The 2025 Integra, $339 a month. 3.9% financing. What a beautiful vehicle, man. Up to 60 months also. No payments for 90 days. The RDX, my wife proudly has been driving an RDX now for 15 years. The 2025 model, $399 a month. It's in stock for immediate delivery. And if you think cars don't last, well, I told you, my wife has had hers for 15 years, and she's beaten the crap out of it, bro. Got to get her a new car this year. 2025 MDX Tech in stock, $10,000 off the MSRP right now, ready for immediate delivery. Get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And let me tell you something, Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all these guys, they have created an amazing atmosphere. And when you go there, you experience it, you buy, you lease a vehicle. But if you also own or lease a vehicle and you need to get it serviced, Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber are second to none. Pure class. You're going to love going there. Great, what's it called? Rest area where you can chill out, wait for your car getting the oil change, all that kind of stuff. The lobby there, you got a cafeteria, you got complimentary water. They got TVs. You can chill out at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. When Weaver gets hired as a head coach, the Dolphins will receive 2 third-round picks and most likely Robert Salah. Well, I don't know. Do they get 2 third-rounders? Is that the rule? I'm not exactly sure. I know they do get some compensation, so they'll get back one of those third-rounders. So that'll be good. That's a good call on your part. And if they get Salah, that'll be good too, because he's a good defensive coordinator. He wasn't a good head coach. And that's what happens sometimes. Some guys are just good coordinators. What I'd like to see, and again, this doesn't mean it's the answer. I already told you, since they're going to come back with all of this, we've talked about this in the last couple of weeks, right? Okay. I want Frank Smith as a play caller. I know it's not going to happen because Mike McDaniel is stubborn and he's terrible at play calling and all that. And I don't even know if Frank Smith can do it. But Mike McDaniel's coming back. And since he's Mr., warm and fuzzy relationship guy, I'm thinking that's kind of what he should work on the sidelines. The relationships, what's going on, the temperament of the team, players, what's going on, this, that, whatever. Pay attention to what's, offense, defense, you're not calling the plays, but you're overseeing everything that's being called, and then you can chime in on something on a 4th down. No, let's go for it, not go for it, whatever. But let Frank Smith be the play caller and you be the head coach, because you cannot be the offensive coordinator and the head coach. You're not even good enough for either one. Okay? Mike McDaniel shouldn't be a head coach and shouldn't be an offensive coordinator. Why should he do both? That's what I would like to see a change. Since I'm not going to get the changes I want, and since the Dolphins don't hire me to be a consultant, just like the Miami Heat, well, then this is what I want. So it is what it is. What can I tell you? Big O, my Bitcoin ETF is advancing nicely lately, following the BTC climb quickly. There you go, which is fantastic. I still say you should own it, but hey, man, to each his own. It's Black Monday. I'm surprised more coaches didn't get the axe. Well, Bobby, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. All righty. If you haven't heard, folks, Stephen Ross is keeping everyone, just in case you've been living under a rock and you don't know what's going on and all that. The team released a statement, and it reads this way. Stephen Ross says, I want to thank the players and coaches for their hard work throughout the 2024 season, as well as the fans for their support. As the owner of this team, I am ultimately accountable for our success and failures. We fell short of our expectations this season, and I understand and share in the frustration in our performance on the field. As we now look towards 2025, our football operation will continue to be led by Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel with my full support. Their positive working relationship is an asset to the Dolphins, and I believe in the value of stability. However, continuity in leadership is not to be confused with the acceptance that status quo is good enough. We will take a hard look at where we have fallen short and make the necessary changes to deliver our ultimate goal of building and sustaining a winning team that competes for championships. So, for those of you that wanted any changes, you're not going to get them. Everyone is coming back, as it was announced yesterday after the Dolphins lost to the Jets 32-20, ending the season with a losing record at 8-9. Other news in the NFL, the Bengals fire former Dolphin coach and defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. The Jags fired head coach Doug Peterson. The Patriots fired head coach Gerard Mayo. The Heat take on the Kings tonight at 10 o'clock. Kings favored by 3.5. The over and under is 223.5 on the ice. The team that listens to me, the Panthers. It's a 9 o'clock face-off. Avalanche favored by 1.5 goals. By the way, the Panthers are plus 102 on the money line. Avalanche minus 122 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-3776. 14-43. Alrighty. Dolphins need to draft offensive tackle Kelvin Banks out of Texas at 13. Okay. We'll start getting into that, down the line. Miami is picking 13. Tennessee got the number 1 pick in the draft. Cleveland got the number 2 pick in the draft. The Giants got number 3. New England got number 4. Jacksonville got number 5. Miami is at 13. So then the question will be, what do they do? Is it Derek Harmon from Georgia, the defensive tackle? Will Campbell, the guard tackle from LSU? Jalen Walker, linebacker. A name I think we're going to hear. Not from the front office, not from the Dolphins, but from some fans and some writers, because it's good clickbait shit. Who do you think I'm going to say at 13 that it's good clickbait shit?
I'm thinking of somebody, but I feel like they're going to go higher, so I think I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
Cam Ward?
No, he'll go higher. He'll go.
I just didn't know. I don't know which one.
He'll go higher. But at least I can tell you you're warm.
So it's a quarterback, though, right? Is that the thinking or no?
You're warm. I'm going to make it easy for you.
I don't know who's going to be there at third after Shador and Cam. Who's the third?
Quinn Ewers.
Oh, is he? Did he go pro?
I think he's going back or whatever. But if he decides to come out, because the official deadline isn't yet, but if he decides to come out, because he hasn't officially declared yet, right? I think.
No, because they're still in it. So he's got 5 days after the bowl game. Right. But I thought he was linked to possibly transfer to University of Miami.
Whatever.
Then the Dolphins can draft him.
Yeah, exactly. but if he declares,
yeah,
okay. Just I wanted to have some fun. I picked some names because I knew this was going to start, so I wanted to pick some names out there, and then I said, okay, what's going to create clickbait? Oh, Quinn Ewers. So if Quinn declares, he's probably the guy that is looked at in the second half of the first round, something like that. So Miami's at 13. So either they take him at 13 or people come up, well, you can trade down a couple of spots and still take Quinn or something, some stupid shit like that. I'm just telling you that if he declares, okay, just be prepared.
Oh, no, yeah, because it's going to be quarterback talk or guard. That's the clickbait. That's going to be the easiest thing to go after right now.
Right. And because Tua doesn't take care of himself, and it's official, we know he's injury prone, but shit, it's even worse now. He's an injury prone quarterback that chooses to put himself in harm's way. It's like, what? What are we doing here? So yeah, it's weird shit, dude. It's weird shit. It blows you away, the crap that goes on, So I don't know, Jackson Dart might be a guy that they could look at 13. I don't know if he might fall farther in the draft, I think. Ewers might be the guy that they use at 13, but I'm just for fun. But Jackson Dart's another good one for after. But at 13, that might be the guy they talk about, because I don't think Dart will go that high. He's a little more raw. So I think he's more of a late first. Somebody gets him in the last pick just to get that 5th year, or he's a second rounder. That's kind of what I think with Dart. Again, early in the process, I haven't even bothered to look so much into it or anything, so
way too early to talk about that. What else do we have? Jets are interviewing Brian Flores. All right, that's good. Can we please draft an injury-free O or D lineman for once? Brett, wasn't Wilkins an injury-free lineman? What would have happened if they would have signed him? Because a lot of people wanted Christian Wilkins back, and then he gets injured. What happens? You know what I mean? And AVG, everybody wanted him back, right? But you wanted back an injured player. Isn't that interesting, Brett? I find that to be very interesting because we complain about injured players and then you want AVG back, but he's coming back from a Liz Frank injury and he's 29. And it's easy to say you want him back now because everything that went on, but he did suffer an injury. And, you know, it's part of the game. Not that he's injury prone or whatever, but at that moment, I think people would have like, oh, yeah, I like AVG, but dude, he's injured. And then if he plays, well, oh, okay, we're all right now. It's just kind of a two-edged sword. You know, it's something that we complain about, and then, but it's something that sometimes we benefit from it too. And then we're burned by it. Look at Christian Wilkins is not even here, and he's burning the Dolphins because now his compensatory pick will drop from 3 to 4 because of the injury. Is that the Dolphins' fault? Sealer played all the snaps just like Wilkins, and here he is still playing. Wilkins didn't. What happens if they, Brett, what happens if they re-sign Wilkins? And a lot of you wanted Wilkins. You know, you won't admit it now, but a lot of you wanted Wilkins. And what if they sign Wilkins and he never had an injury, which he didn't, and then all of a sudden he gets this injury? It's interesting how we play that injury game to our benefit in this discussion. And we only use it in a negative form, but we never use it the other way. It's just funny how that kind of works out. You know, nobody ever talks about, oh yeah, Grier took a chance on injury. Well, hey man, thank God he didn't pay Wilkins because he got injured. Nobody says that. Nobody says that at all. It's just weird like that, man. To me, in the end, Tua and McDaniel are the reason why you're not where you're supposed to be. You have the wrong head coach, and the quarterback refuses to take care of himself. And if he refuses, there's no hope with Tua if he's not going to take care of himself. Yes, sir, Sean.
Apparently Tyreek Hill, thank you, Gus, for this. He said, come through Aventura Mall today and shop. And the only reason it's funny is because of the comments underneath. He said, there's just a few of them. I will never forget that you as a team captain quit on your team. Somebody else put, I got to do what's best for me and my family and not spend money on your crappy clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
On my way to Soul Quitter now. I'm out.
Right.
So there's Tyreek trying to get the appeal to the fan base now.
Yeah.
Move that merch.
Shit, moron. You're an idiot. By the way, what did I say about the Jimmy Butler coffee store? What was my prediction there? That it would be what? Closed down what in like a year or two? Okay. All right. Just saying. This was before all this. I said it. You know, because kind of knew that all this shit was happening. You know, it's the only way it ends with this guy. Scam artist. Miami 305, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Last time Finns won a playoff game, I was 7 years old. Lamar Smith game, I remember it. My child is now 9 years old. Little did I know at that time, pain. Yeah, Yeah, I was still a beat writer in those days. I covered that team. So I remember. Dave Wanstead reminds me so much of Mike McDaniel, that they're both like super likable human beings, but they are both bad game day coaches. Absolutely terrible game day coaches, dude. Holy shit. It's amazing how bad of a game day coach these guys are. And Wani had a pretty damn good team overall. I know he couldn't solve the quarterback issue in the offense, but man, that was the team in our last 40 years that had the closest chance to, do something. They needed the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And again, Mwani may have screwed it up with his conservative play calling, but man, that team was one of the more complete teams that Miami had. They just didn't have the quarterback. Unfortunate. Got to have the coach, got to have the front office, got to have the running game, got to have the offensive line, got to have the defense, got to have the quarterback. They did not have the quarterback. Corso Traven, thank you for this super chat. To a Waddle Hill, what a thrilling disappointment. Rob says Dallas Christmas Eve win. We are 8-12. Points scored must be bottom quarter of the league in those games. Yeah. What else do we have? I've never seen someone who sees through all the BS like you do. Oh, thank you, Mike Fox. I appreciate you. You know why? More often, I think why. I don't have to worry about an agent or a trainer or a GM or a player or a team or a corporation or an editor or whatever, or a program director. I don't have to answer to their agendas. That's what I think helps me. So I appreciate that. Thank you for noticing. Let's see. Adolfo Foliaco. I know this is kind of off-season hopium, but could be a possibility that we can trade cheaper by a dozen and get a lower draft pick for salary cap. Adolfo, it's way too early. You don't know how the draft is breaking down yet. You don't know what juniors have declared. You don't know what's available. You don't know what that 13th pick is yet. So you don't trade down from something that you don't know yet what you're going to get. So until you have a feeling of what is going to be in that neighborhood, and if you don't think it's good enough or not great, or maybe there's a gem there you really like and like, okay, we're going to get this guy. We love this guy. He's a freaking difference maker. We're going to stay right here. But if you have to wait to get to that point, okay? And so that's why we've got to kind of slow down. I get it. Other people, other platforms and radio shows or writers, they got to fill with bullshit, and they'll start writing all kinds of bullshit from the get-go. That's fine, dude. I'm not going to do that. We just can't do that right now. There's nothing to talk about with that. So talking about trading down now when you don't even know what 13 stands for makes zero sense. And anybody writing about trading up or down or talking about it and all that, all they're doing is just creating clickbait for people like you, that you're going to fall for bullshit like that, because people love that. Just like that over the cap guy writing the article immediately last night about Tyreek Hill and the contract, just to clickbait you Dolphin fans. They can't get out of the deal. They're not getting out of the deal. They can't dump the guy. They can't trade the guy. They're stuck with him through next season. Then they can make a move. And that's it. And I told you guys that last year when they guaranteed the money. Now they're stuck with him for 2 years. Well, 1 year is gone. Now you got one more to go. That's all. So, yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm sorry. Kyle McCord from Syracuse. That's later in the draft. But he is an accurate quarterback, a smart kid. He's, it's interesting. James, you bring up a name like that, but that's the kind of kid you get in the middle rounds that you just never know, dude. So, yeah. Not that anybody is going to save your season, because no youngin is going to come in and save your season, okay? Plus, Tua starting. But it's just to start developing a guy for the future, because, unfortunately, you cannot trust him. Tua, that is. Because Tua is going to do something stupid and get himself injured, because that's what he normally does. He does stupid things and gets himself injured. So, it's a beautiful thing. We're still at 102, or are we at 103 now? Yeah, we're under 102. Now we're at 101.8. Oh, my God, I'm selling everything. That's it. It's over. J-Town wants McCord to stay at the Cuse. Tyreek Hill forced his way out of KC to chase a bag, only to cry about wanting to be part of a winning team 3 years later. Yeah, and also they've won 2 titles without his ass, which proves he's not needed. He's just another cog that you can replace. That's all. That's the reality. He's dispensable, right? That's the word? So. Cooper Rush would be a good backup QB. Cooper didn't play yesterday when he had $250,000. Maybe he was pissed and doesn't want back. I don't know if he's under contract or what. Again, Cooper Rush, not saving your team, but a decent backup. But that's the kind of backup that you can get while you develop a youngin. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. I don't have a problem with that at all. Let's see, what else do we have? How'd it go for the guy that was flying the banners over the stadium? Because, it was a guy. It definitely isn't a woman. It's some idiot that obviously has a lot of money and can throw it away, right? Because that's basically what you're doing. And the Giants yesterday also had banners, and they brought back their coach and their GM. I'm just saying, you banner people, do you learn anything? Buy Bitcoin. Instead of flushing that money down the toilet with some stupid banner. I don't know. How much does that shit cost? I got to imagine that it's got to cost easily 10 plus grand, 20. I don't know. I have zero clue what it costs to rent that stuff. But whatever it is, I mean, do you people ever learn your lesson? It doesn't really work ever. When they fire somebody, it's not because you flew a stupid plane over the stadium with your banner. When they fire somebody, it's because they felt like firing them at that point. All of you, and me included, we wanted to fire people from the Dolphins. Did they appease you? No. Bunch of people don't want to see McDaniel back. Bunch of people don't want to see Chris Grier back. Bunch of people don't want to see Tua back. Bunch of people want Stephen Ross to sell the team. Well, guess what? None of that happened. Did they listen to any of you? No. It's humorous. I just would imagine. Look, man, I'm a working stiff. I've been a working stiff my whole life. So I don't have the kind of money ever in my life to be renting some stupid plane or anything like that. You know what I mean? If I got an extra $5, well, then I'll put it in Bitcoin. I am not going to spend my few bucks that I have on. I can't even afford that shit. But I'm just saying, even if I had the money, God, are you kidding me, dude? Even what'd you do? Was it like 20 guys that got together and chipped in? Like I that's stupid too. I just, I saw the Giant story and it reminded me of the Dolphin idiots that do the same thing. And here you go. They're all back. Yes, sir.
It's actually pretty cheap, believe it or not.
Really?
Josh had the price too. Offers for aerial messages, inclusive rate of $950 to $1,500 for a 30 to 40 character banner that's flown 5 times over a location. High exposure is $870 to $1,400 for personal, $1,200 to $3,800 for event and venues, and then there's sky ads, which is $1,200 for 2 passes over beaches.
That's actually cheap. I can't afford it still, but
no, there's other ones where you have to request a quote. So
yeah, I'm a broke ass fool, so I can't afford that. But that's actually not that bad. Still a waste of money.
Yeah, it's
a lot cheaper than I expected.
Yeah, so did I. When you said it, I was like, let me go check this out. So now, if you get into skywriting, now it gets a little bit more. But banner towing, and again, there's other things too that where you have to request a quote. So it may add on to that price depending on how far they got to fly and a whole bunch of other. There's a bunch of little things that can play into altering that price as well.
Pat in Asheville says, I just bought a billboard right outside the training complex. Steve Ross, keep McDonald's and Grier or else. There you go. I like it. I like it. Child psychology. That might work. I like it. Karun says, to all the diehard Finn fans, find a hobby to keep you busy. The Finns used to dictate my mood for years. Not anymore. I run and go to the gym. I listen to Support Big O and few others. That's about it. You know what I say? You know what hobby I say you should have? That's a fun hobby to have. It's this hobby right here. A hobby that I've been telling you about since it was at 16,000. And it's at 102,000. What kind of a hobby is that? You get on this hobby here, on this Hobby Lobby, okay? And it's going to be at 1.5 million in 5 years. You're going to be pretty happy that you're on this Hobby Lobby. That's the hobby you should pick up right there. It's called Bitcoin. Not that I'm a financial advisor by any stretch or anything. I know nothing. I see nothing. I hear nothing. So, what can I tell you? Let me address some musica stuff here on the show. Let's start off with birthdays today. All right, let's start off with musicians celebrating birthdays today. I have no idea if this guy's any good or even known. Polo G, American rapper, singer, songwriter. His second studio album, The GOAT, in 2020 peaked at number 2. I have no idea. Is he actually legit? Help me out there. Anyway, happy birthday to him. Born in the state in 99. I do know Alex Turner, guitarist, vocalist for the Arctic Monkeys. I like the Arctic Monkeys. I enjoy the Arctic Monkeys. Born in this state in 1986. Mark O'Toole, bassist with Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, don't do it. Where you want to go? Born in this date in 1964. Let's see. What else? Katie Sledge. Awesome. Singer, songwriter, producer with Sister Sledge. We are family. Born in 1959. Born in 1953 on this date, he is the guitarist from the Australian rock band AC/DC, Letters and Snakes. Let us give. Snakes take. Malcolm Young, by the way, passed away at the age of 64 in 2017. Kim Wilson, singer, harmonica player, lead vocalist, frontman for the Fabulous Thunderbirds. Born in 1951 on this date. Syd Barrett, guitarist, singer with Pink Floyd, co-founding member, born on this date in 1946. We lost him in 2006 at the age of 60. Complications of diabetes. Van McCoy, born on this date in 1944, singer, producer. Just do that hustle, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Happy birthday to him, 1944. We lost him in 79 at the ripe age of 38 only. Wow. Jesus Christ. More life, please. And who else do we have here? All right, let's go with other famous folk celebrating birthdays today. Rowan Atkinson, movie actor, is 70 years old. Norman Reedus, actor, is 56. Irina Shayk, model, she is 39. Eat a hamburger. Let's see who else. Kate McKinnon, comedian. I love her. 41 years old. And Hillary Thomas Baldwin, actress. She is 41 today. Julie Chen, TV host, 55. Gilbert Arenas is 49. Peter Guns, rapper, 56. Why have I heard that? Platinum record Deja Vu is best known for being part of the rap group duo Lord Tariq and Peter Guns. Their hit single was Deja Vu, Uptown Baby. Okay. All right. Well, Peter Guns, born on this date in 1969. He is 56. Jameis Crazy Ass Winston. He is 31 years old today. And that is birthdays for famous folk today. Sean Stanley, do we have any wrestlers celebrating birthdays today?
Yes, sir, we do. Jacqueline, she turned 61 today. Kiro Tanaka is 66. Conan is 61. Ludwig Borga was born on this date in 1963. We lost him in 2010. And the great Professor Toru Tanaka was born on this date in 1930, and we lost him in the year of 2000. Those are your birthdays for January 6th, 2025.
Thank you. All right. Skylar says a Chicago-based rapper, he's okay, not great. All right. Well, happy birthday to him. Figured I'd mention it. I'm not well-versed in newer rap, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I come from a part of ignorance where I don't know if the person's, legit or not. And I know there's like a lot of lower level rappers that, they're not worth mentioning because they're not really like big time. So yeah, but I don't know enough about that industry, the newer part of the industry, to know who's who and who's not sometimes. Karoon says, O and Sean are great examples. O has crypto, family, and concerts. Sean has family and wrestling. Exactly. Well, we also have the Panthers that offset the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? We have the Heat that offset the Dolphins. I know the Heat are a little funky right now, but man, for 25 years, they've been just fine, overall. So we have other things. Inter Miami gave us a good season. The regular season, obviously the season became a disappointing season, unfortunately. It was a very disappointing season, but we got some entertainment out of it. at least. You know, we have other things, but yeah, definitely. My family, my dogs, crypto, music, definitely. Concerts. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Plenty of that going on. And where are we at? We're still over 102. Let's go. Let's pump, baby. Go to 103. Miami Dolphin says, needs everyone to get some Bitcoin so that Bitcoin keeps going up and up. I'm there with you. I'm converting people left and right too. Actually, I don't. Miami Dolphin experience. I don't need any of you to get Bitcoin. I'm good, bro. Don't need any of him. Seriously, I do it for you, not for me. Michael Saylor, ARK Investments, Fidelity, MicroStrategy, I'm BlackRock, I'm sorry. Franklin Templeton, China, Russia, Germany, states. There's 13 different states that are going to use Bitcoin as a reserve. I got to tell you, Miami Dolphin experience. You might you maybe think you're being a smart ass or something like that, but in all seriousness, I don't need a goddamn bit of you to buy Bitcoin. The smart and richer and much more powerful people are gobbling it up like Pac-Man for me. They're pumping my bags to kingdom come, dude. Michael Saylor just bought another 100 million. He's in the middle of raising 2 more billion. There was a report yesterday about him getting all the way to 5 billion to raise. And so he just bought 100 million. I got to tell you, Miami Dolphin experience, I don't do it because I want you to pump. You're not going to pump my bag, dude. You don't have any money, dude. What, your $50, your $100, your $1,000? You ain't doing shit for me, bro. I'm just, let me just kind of break it down. Because, some of you people think, it's a Ponzi scheme. And you think, no, I need you to buy to lift me. Bro, no, I don't need you guys to lift me at all. Way smarter, richer, more powerful people are lifting my ship. I'm good. Don't need it at all. When I tell you because I'm being selfless. I'm telling you for your own good. Now, if you can't see it when it was at 16 and now it's at 102, I can't help you. You know what I mean? So I am actually doing a service. I'm not a financial advisor by any stretch. I'm just a big mouth talk show host. That's it. That's all I do. But believe it or not, Miami Dolphin experience, I have done and am doing one incredible service for people. Okay? And all those people that got in earlier like I did, they all know exactly what I'm talking about because they're the ones that walk up to me. They're the ones that are DMing me, and they're the ones that are thanking me. So if you think I am doing it for any selfish reasons, my brother, you couldn't be more wrong and more ignorant about it, which means you may not really be on board. You may talk a good game about it, but you're really not on board, There's a lot of blah, blah, blah out there. A lot of people talk, but they don't back shit up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually doing it for you. When I tell you about what's going on with our economy and how red or blue is destroying it, I'm just doing it for you if you want. It's all up to you, man. You could go gather the information yourself and learn and all that. But, I was telling you about this before. States and countries and corporations wanted to use it as their reserves. Now they're all wanting to use it as their reserves. So I do it for you guys, believe it or not. All right, let's get to a little music history. What happened on January 6th in music history? Let's start off in 1958. The Rolling Stones kicked off their first headlining tour in Harrow, England. In 76 on this date, Peter Frampton's double-length Frampton Comes Alive was released, and this 10-year-old bought that double album in a record store in Passaic, New Jersey in 1976. And boy, I was like a pig in shit. I was like, the day that Bitcoin hits 1 million, then I'll have a couple of bucks. Not at 100,000. But if it hits 1 million, 1.5 million, then I'll have a couple dollars. You know, when that happens, I'll be just like that day in 1976 that I got that album. You know, that was like, and you know, you're a 10-year-old kid, you're into rock music, that album comes out, you have like the money and the power as a 10-year-old to walk into a record store and purchase Frampton Comes Alive. And I immediately went back to my cousin's house on Broadway, right next to Lincoln number 4 is the name of the school that's right next to their house, Lincoln number 4. For any of you that are from the Passaic area or know it, and it's off Broadway, okay? I remember all of that stuff like it was yesterday. And Passaic, I went right immediately to the record player, and I started to play it. And I remember begging my uncle, can you turn down what you're watching there on WPIX, right? Channel 11, I want to say it was. Because I remember I used to watch cartoons there at times in the afternoons. Am I right in the mid 70s that you could watch? Was it a Channel 11 that there would be PIX? Was it? New Yorkers, fill me in. I'm not a New Yorker. That's in Jersey. But anyway, as I digress, I start remembering things from those days. I'm 58, bro. That's like 76, man. Anyway, 93, bassist Bill Wyman announced that he had officially left the Rolling Stones. In 1990, Phil Collins started a 3-week run on the top of the album charts. But seriously, in 58, Gibson patented its Flying V electric guitar. Oh, man, that is such a cool guitar. In 73, Carly Simon's You're So Vain, what a great song, started a 3-week run at number 1. Mick Jagger provided backing vocals on it. And to this day, we still don't know who she's singing about, because it could be so many people. In 75, Boston's mayor canceled a Led Zeppelin concert after 2,000 fans rioted trying to buy tickets. In 2004, Foo Fighters' Dave Grohl went into an LA studio with Garbage to lay down drums for the track Bad Boyfriend, which appeared on their 4th album, Bleed Like Me. In 2009, Stooges guitarist Ron Ashton was found dead, having passed away a few days earlier from a heart attack. The rocker is known for helping the band to become one of the most influential rock groups. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. It takes more than a few buys here and there to move Bitcoin. Market cap is huge. Yeah, exactly. And Kyle, as you and I know, all of us on the chat board right now, we wouldn't move Bitcoin $5. Not $5 would we move Bitcoin. Let's see. Great point about prematurely paying Tyreek early. Hopefully he still has value. Jake from Pallettown. I missed the days Warriors offset the Dolphins. For me now, all the teams suck besides Ohio State, and even we all won't get into it. Jay says PIX was the Yankee station and great for afternoon Saturday morning cartoons. So yes, I was watching. So I was right. Figure that shit out right there, Jay. Okay, I remember it was PIX. It was Channel 11. And I remember that while I was there during the summers, I could watch cartoons on that channel. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good memory right there. That I remember that PIX had cartoons. And I don't live there, but I did spend 3 summers there because I went for, I think it was 76, 77, and 78. I spent the 3 or maybe it was 79 also. I'm not sure now. But anyway, I did. And I remember that. I remember that. So thank you for confirming it for me. What else do we have here? I've listened to Big O be right enough that it's just silly not to pay attention to what he's saying, not saying by what he says, but pay attention. Thank you, sir. Yes, PIX is a New York station now called CW11, great for showing the Honeymooner reruns on New Year's Day. Okay. So, I get it. So it's the CW. No wonder it had cartoons because it's like our 39 and 33 here in Miami. So in the afternoon on 39 and 33, you would have cartoons here in South Florida, you know? So I remember that when I was a kid and staying in Jersey with my cousins, that I would see cartoons on PIX. And now you've enlightened me what PIX is. It's our equivalent of CW. So that's cool that you made that association for me to clear it up because I'm not from there. I'm only going off of, memories that I remember from things when I was a kid, when I was there. I still remember the day I stepped right through a rusted nail playing hide and seek throughout the neighborhood, jumping a fence. I jump over the fence and I land and I'm like, oh, that hurt. And I look, and it's a rusted nail, and I had to go get the tetanus shots and all that. Oh, man. Kid shit, right? Stuff that happens to you when you're a kid. It went right through my sneaker, right into my damn foot, and like, oh, man, that was nasty. Oh, that was nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Oh, let's see. PIX is an independent station. Then by 95, it was WB. Ocala says, as a longtime listener, if you're running a Ponzi scheme, I'm all in. Bro, it's supposedly Warren Beatty. It's supposedly what's the guy she was married to? The folky singer, man. It's supposedly about many different people. She's never really revealed what it was about. James Taylor. Damn it. It's been about all kinds of people that's been mentioned. So she's kept us in the dark. It's what's that Better Than Ezra song? Oh, damn it. What's the Better Than Ezra song? Better Than Ezra has a song that is something about that they've kept everybody in the dark about too, what the song is about, damn it, now I'm brain farting at the moment, which is the song. But it's like one of those things that they love keeping you in the dark what the song is about. And I cannot remember at this moment because I'm brain farting. Do you like eToro? No, I do not like eToro. I would not touch eToro with a 10-foot pole. No. Buy on crypto.com instead and move it to your cold storage wallet. Okay? Make sure you have a cold storage wallet, whoever you are. I am Jacob, Gabriel. Wherever you buy, you have to make sure that they have bridges for you to move it off to your cold storage wallet. Okay? So where you get a Ledger, a Tangem, whatever it is that you're going to get. Okay? There's all kinds of wallets that you may like out there, a Trezor, all kinds. Okay? That's your choice. But make sure you have your cold storage wallet. And no, I do not like eToro. I'm not an eToro fan. I'm not a Coinbase fan. I got to tell you, I am very nervous about Coinbase. I would never keep anything on Coinbase. Anything I would buy on Coinbase, I would move it the hell out of there. I do not trust Coinbase. I'm just saying. Too many governmental ties now. Sorry. No. I would be very careful on that one. So, what else do we have? Channel 39 is now an independent station in Miami. Yes, Jeremy, I know that. It's kind of been known for a long, long time. Big O, can you explain Caspa's use case? It's the same thing as any other blockchain, my brother. It has the same use case as any other blockchain where you can build businesses on it, where you can have DeFi, where they're going to have NFTs, where they're going to have staking. It's the same as everything. The only difference is that right now it's still in its infancy stages because it doesn't have the businesses on it. It doesn't have, I know they've just launched some meme coins and stuff like that, but it doesn't have any powerful meme coins on it or anything like that. So what they do have is a strong community. What they do have is strong tokenomics, and also proof of stake. I mean, proof of work, which there are very few chains that are proof of work outside of Bitcoin and Caspa. And so for me, Caspa is more on potential. It has everything. They're building it out to have anything and everything that you can do on Solana, that you can do on Ethereum, that you can do on Avalanche. They're going to do the same thing. DeFi, Metaverse, all of that. But they don't have any of that yet. They're where Cardano was 4 years ago. Put it that way. Okay. Now, it's not going to take them 4 years to get to where Cardano is now. That's the good thing. They're already ahead of that. So that's the good thing. But somewhere down the line, I think it's going to start moving upward. You know what I'm saying? But it's a long-term play right now. That's not something that I would, I would like, oh my God, I've got to put my, big money in the Caspa and all that. I'm not there at that point. It's kind of a small bag for me at this point because right now we're still in the early stages. I still think there's going to be a shit ton of volatility for Caspa until they have real business building on it. Until you see the TVL, when you start seeing total value locked start growing on Caspa, that's when, as we say in Spanish, ojo, you got to have your eye on it. That's when the prize starts to rise. Okay, but for now, I like its foundation and where it's going. But again, am I where I'm at with Hedera or some other? No. All right. Any thoughts on using MoonPay? I keep getting ads. MoonPay depends on when you're buying. You end up using MoonPay for payments of your purchases. That's what MoonPay is. That's all. There was nothing better than waking up in the morning to Saturday morning cartoons. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with you. I live for Saturday mornings. Big O, just wondering what crypto exchange sites you use to purchase your crypto exchange. Well, Kraken, Crypto.com, Binance, Cash App, Venmo, Tangem, Bitget, DeFi platform, stuff like that. Yeah. All over the place. But then eventually it goes where? Okay. It's got to go somewhere else, not being held there. Okay. Let's see. I know this isn't a crypto bro show, but any nuggets at any time is always a plus. You're welcome. And I am going to do a crypto bro show for you guys starting tomorrow throughout the entire week. Okay. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, guaranteed you'll have 4 straight crypto bro shows. Where should I buy Bitcoin? Sir, for beginners, I would go to swan.com is another one. Swan's a good one because the first $10,000 that you buy a Bitcoin is fee free. And it's always fee free to move it to your cold storage wallet. So swan.com would be the perfect one to buy your Bitcoin. If you're going to buy crypto, Kraken is outstanding. Crypto.com is outstanding. And then you could use like a DeFi platform like BitKet. If you don't know how to use stuff like that, go to YouTube and then whatever platform you want to use, how to use crypto.com, how to buy crypto on crypto.com, how to buy crypto on Kraken, how to buy crypto on Tangem, how to buy crypto on BitGet, things like that. And you'll see the videos and they'll show you and they'll walk you through it. That way, when you do it on your own, you can learn. Okay, so YouTube has all of those videos. And if you want to learn how to transfer your crypto from one wallet to another, like, okay, I bought my crypto on crypto.com and now I want to transfer it to my Ledger wallet, to my Tangem wallet, to my Trezor wallet, whatever wallet you guys have, you find the video. Okay, I want transfer from crypto.com to whatever wallet you're using. Okay, and the video will be there on YouTube, and then you can follow the step by step, and then that'll help you out, and that'll make it easier for you. Okay. Yes, sir.
Nothing Dolphins related, but Deshaun Watson, the gift that keeps giving the Cleveland Brown and the Browns fan base. GM Andrew Berry announced that QB Deshaun Watson suffered a setback in his recovery from a torn Achilles. They are gathering more info, and it's too early to tell how it affects the timeline and availability for 2025.
So a guy has a growing problem because he likes getting his dick rubbed too much. Anyway, Kyle Cockrell. It's kind of funny that I just said that, and then Kyle, your last name. Anyway, it's like Bitcoin, just better and faster. They will build anything on it, but it is supposed to be better, faster version of Bitcoin. Picture Bitcoin as digital gold and Caspa digital silver. That's kind of the way they're phrasing it. But remember, there's 50 billion in Caspa. Okay, so let me explain something to you guys out there. Something you also want to look at when you. I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin chart here, and we are still at 102,000, which is a beautiful thing. Now, I want you to go look here where it says max supply on the left here, where my cursor is. You see, 21 million Bitcoin. That's how many exist, and that's how many will be mined. We're like at 19.8 or something like that. So there's not much left. Okay, so now Caspa, which is like 40 something, I think, on the here it is, 47 on the market cap. Okay, so now here it is. Max supply Caspa is 28.7 billion. Little different than 21 million. Okay, and that's why Kyle is calling it silver, not gold. Because the finite amount to Bitcoin is really finite. It's only 21 million. There are 8 billion people in the world. Well, here you go. Caspa has 28.7 billion. Now, total supply right now, 25.49 billion is already in circulation. So you still have 3 more billion that is to be released in halvings, because they have halvings. Okay, so Kyle is right, but it's not nearly as valuable, and that's why he calls it silver. But the interesting part about Caspa is that Bitcoin is so limited, so few could have Bitcoin. No one is really going to get nowadays, unless you're filthy rich. Most of you aren't going to be able. I know I can't afford a Bitcoin now. you're like me. You're only going to get a fraction of a Bitcoin, right? That's what I strive for 25%. That's it. That's what you strive for. This is going to get out of control. Whereas for Caspa, you're going to have an opportunity to get in and own it. And if it grows, not that it's going to grow to this point, but still, what if it grows to $5, $10, $50? You never know. And so this is why Kyle mentions that. But again, it's in the early stages, and Kyle and myself, we are not financial advisors. Go do your own homework. If you think it makes sense down the line and you think this is something that's going to be used, because it could end up being used as currency, because the Bitcoin one is going to be so exclusive that I could see something else becoming a kind of currency in other levels. And, Caspa could be that. There's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a possibility that Caspa completely flops and Kyle and I are shit out of luck. Okay. So just make sure you're aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Just be aware. Be aware. Whatever you invest, you're willing to lose. You're going to buy your Tesla stock, it could go to zero. So you just make sure you're always willing to lose two at the same time. Let's see. It's hard to use Bitcoin because it's so slow. Caspa's next milestone is 10 blocks per second. Yeah, but with the Lightning Network, Bitcoin is not as slow anymore. That's the thing. You have a layer 2 on it that allows them to use for transactions. So it will be used for transactions in lesser countries. They're going to use it because their dollars are all going to go to shit. So eventually it will go. Big O, yes, WPIX Channel 11. I watched the Yankees games there. Thank you. I had Kraken, had a few issues with it, and moved into Coinbase. No issues there. Okay. Sunday evening cartoons are great too. Yesterday I saw a Looney Tunes episode of a football team get steamrolled. Well, that was Finn's game. Never mind. Paul Zambrano obviously doesn't listen to the show much and doesn't pay attention. Paul, they can't trade Hill. Stop falling for the clickbait bullshit out there, bro. They're stuck with Hill. Hill's too stupid to even realize he can't go anywhere. They're stuck with each other. Okay? They're absolutely stuck with each other. So, no. Next year, they can release him. After next season, they will have an opportunity. Okay? They will definitely have an opportunity. Peter German, thank you again. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we love that. Peter says, Big O, you were right. This shit show is here another year. The only request I have from Sean, can I please get a blind ass owner alert?
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Hang in there, Peter. Thank you as always, my brother. Strong support by you as always on Venmo, my man. Thank you. Donations. Visit our amazing sponsors. Caneswear, by the way. We got basketball season. We got the hockey season going on. We got UM basketball. Get your gear. Dolphins, Inter Miami. It's all there. They even got some Marlins stuff, too. If you want to get some Marlins stuff, they got it there at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Tell them that I sent you. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off at caneswear.com. And if you order online over $99, you'll get free shipping at caneswear.com. What's up, Sean?
Jalen Ramsey, thanks to Gus, is taken to IG. And it's interesting because, the Tyreek blow up yesterday and everything else there. So this is what he tweets, or Instagrams. A violinist played for 45 minutes in New York subway. A handful of people stopped, a couple clapped, and the violinist raised about $30 in tips. No one knew this, but the violinist was Joshua Bell, one of the best musicians in the world in that subway. Joshua played one of the most intricate pieces ever written with the violin worth $3.5 million. 2 days before he played in the subway, Joshua Bell sold out a Boston theater and the seats averaged about $100. The experiment proved that the extraordinary in an ordinary environment does not shine and is so often overlooked and undervalued. There are brilliantly talented people everywhere who aren't receiving the recognition and reward they deserve, but once they arm themselves with value and confidence and remove themselves from an environment that isn't serving them, they thrive and grow. Your gut is telling you something, listen to it. If it's telling you where you are isn't enough, go where you are appreciated and valued. Know your worth.
Yeah. Well, what can I tell you? This is what you created. That coach does not create a great environment. So we'll see. I don't know. It's hard to feel good about the Dolphins next season. It really is. It's just this thing like we are building ourselves up and really we have no substance behind it. That's the worst part about it. We've got nothing to really hang our hats on. And all we have is proof that this guy is an incompetent head coach every year. So it doesn't matter, what he has. It almost seems like he's going to fuck it up. And if you get tired of his press conferences and how he talks and all that, I can't imagine that the players are. The bullshit you're selling doesn't work. The results are there, And I will say this, Tua is also a deflating individual to his teammates because they've got to know, like, bro, you're stupid or something. We need you, bro. We can't compete without you. And you keep doing stupid shit. You're a quarterback. You're not a football player. It's funny. I still have to have arguments with idiots on X that think that, like, just because you're a quarterback, you're automatically a football player. Just because you're playing football, you're a football player. No, you're not, dude. No, you're not. Okay? Some quarterbacks, they're not football players. Lamar is. Okay? Josh Allen is. Pat Mahomes is, but Marino isn't. And Breeze isn't, and Tua isn't. So since Tua doesn't realize that, he is a deflating individual because his teammates know he's not an athlete. His teammates don't want to see him tackling anybody. His teammates don't want him taking on any contact. Most fans with a brain and all football players, they're good with their quarterback just passing the ball and get out of the way, dude. You do the most important job on the field. We're good. We'll handle the rest. That's how football players are. They're good. Dude, you screwed up. You made an interception. We'll go get the guy for you. We're good. You made a turnover. We'll go get the ball for you. That's how football works. We don't ask the quarterback normally to go tackle somebody or, hey, we need you to go break tackles and gain 10 tough yards and all that. No, bro, we don't ask the quarterback to do that. And so the whole situation is deflating. The head coach is uninspiring. The quarterback refuses to take care of himself, so it doesn't give you any hope. Like, I have no hope now with Tua. Why? Because if he's not going to take care of himself, I know what's going to end up. He's going to end up injured. So if he's out, I know what happens to the Dolphins. They have no chance to compete at all without him. They're back to being the Dolphins that they've been for many years now, without a quarterback, and you just kind of got to half-ass try to win everything because every year you never have a quarterback. You always have a half-ass quarterback. You always have some – because you have two guys that have to open it up to competition because neither guy's good enough. That's been our lives. So Jalen Ramsey is working his ass off, playing hard, and there's Tua doing stupid shit on the other side, making it impossible for Jalen Ramsey to go to the playoffs. So if Jalen Ramsey's talking about anybody on the team that feels you're not in the right place, you got to go somewhere else to get your worth, then go ahead. Or if it's just a message overall to the Dolphins, hey, you need to improve this environment so people can feel like they can thrive and have success here. It's been a problem here for a long time. Yeah. This is what we deal with. Let's see. Big O, letter grade for the season, an F. Yes, definitely an F. This is a complete F. Let's see. Good afternoon, Big O and Sean. Just tuned in. Glad the Dolphins' nightmare is over. Is it, Steven? Or is it just continuing? Because, 2025 is back. So Christian Watson has suffered a torn ACL, apparently. That's coming across the wire. That's a loss for them. I'm not disgusted at all. I'm good with Ross's decisions. There you go. Randy is super happy as a Jets fan. Think Blue Dodgers. Tyreek's definitely breaking another IG model's leg. Yeah. Yeah, don't you feel sorry for IG models everywhere because now Tyreek is going to be out on a tear? Yeah, that's going to be a problem for IG models everywhere. That's a shame. It really is. All right, folks, we thank you all out there. If you send in Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, thank you. Visiting our amazing sponsors like the Big Cheese, by the way. Great place, bigcheesemiami.com. Sloman's, by the way, if you're looking for an alarm system for your home, they've been protecting Americans for 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. We're in 14 different states. Tell them that Big O sent you, folks. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you. On behalf of Sean Stanley, I am Orlando Alzagari. We will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same time, same place, same bat channel.